Okay, welcome everybody to the Blue Collar Bros podcast. We have a special guest today, Anna DeFrank. Welcome to the show, Anna.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Let's do a quick intro. We already said your name, so let's go. Where are you from? And let's do some hobbies.
Okay, where am I from? I'm from originally Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I still live here part-time. You know, I'm kind of all over the place with where I work. I'm in real estate.
Jet set.
Yeah, so real estate, it is my hobby at this point. I guess you have to like it to be doing it as much as I do it. Like, It's like my identity.
Yeah.
Beyond that, I love traveling. I love, the gym. And that's basically it. I'm kind of boring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Business is fun.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah.
It kind of, it does. It takes over. You're on your phone, at night, but it's not consuming you to the point where you're like, oh, I can't wait to be done with this.
No, and that's why you do
for
so
the
much.
next thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, construction, you can put time frames on construction. Maybe not you, because you do service calls, but real estate, I feel it's 24/7. Your phone, there's no closing
when you're
time.
in sales, yes,
Yeah.
you have to be available 24/7 to kind of give you that edge. Even more so in this real estate market because everyone is a real estate agent now. When I started, I didn't know an agent my age. Now it's everyone's DMing me how do I get started? What classes do I take?
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
Everyone's relative is an agent. You know, it's kind of whatever.
It's the new hotness.
It's very trendy.
Yeah, it is. Well, the market's crazy right now too. So
They're
everybody wants to jump in.
Yeah, they're seeing the rewards of being an agent right now and how lucrative it can be, and they're like, I want to get in this too. So,
but you have to be good.
To be sustainable, but the barrier of entry is kind of low.
So before we get any further, this is a mistake that we've been making, I think.
Okay.
We always plug the socials at the end.
Okay.
And I think we're going to catch a lot more people in the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially when the podcast goes maybe 40 minutes long. So plug whatever you want to plug. You have a new podcast.
Yeah, I have a real estate investment podcast called Cashed In. You can find it on Instagram, cashed_in, YouTube /cashedin. I have a website, AnnaDeFrank.com, Instagram, my personal is AnnaDef, DEF17, or AnnaDeFrank_realtor. So, yeah, so that's how you can find me.
Have you seen any of the clips from their podcast?
Yeah, I actually didn't know that was yours. I saw a couple clips and I'm like,
they look great.
It looks really good.
Yeah, we're on episode 6 right now, and we're kind of just getting into our groove and figuring out what translates well and how to, I guess, put a podcast together.
Yeah.
You know, it's not second nature. It's something you actually have to investigate and figure out what works. So that's where we're at in our journey.
It's not easy.
No, I'm sure you know. We were just talking about how long it takes to edit, how long it takes to upload. You said you know, talking about frames per second and things like that. What the hell is that unless you actually dive in and figure it out? So
this is all a big learning experience for all of us.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
To be creative, I enjoy it, and we have that luxury obviously to have podcasts. So we're lucky. Yeah.
Do you listen to podcasts yourself?
I do. Mine are all comedic.
Okay.
So everyone talks to me. They're like, "Listen to Bigger Pockets," and I'm like, "I've never listened to an episode, but I need to. You know, I will."
So who's your favorite comedian that does a podcast?
Oh, I love Andrew Schultz right now.
Oh, great.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Andrew Schultz and he has 2. So he has Flagrant 2, and then he has the one with Charlemagne, which is Brilliant Idiots. Both so funny. Tim Dillon. I used to watch Theo Vaughn a lot.
Yeah.
And then
King of the Sting.
Funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And then Joe Rogan. I'll watch him periodically. Cool. So.
Okay, we're going to dive into more of the investor side of you today.
Okay.
Than the realtor side.
Yeah.
So, have you flipped any properties yourself?
Yeah, I just closed one end of January.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you're flipping properties, do you have a team? Do you have a certain team of guys?
Yeah. So we partnered. It's actually a beautiful partnership because it's so easy. We actually have 2 more flips coming up, and we're going to the tax sale, which would be a cool segue for a different topic in the upcoming weeks to buy more flips. So I partnered with a longtime friend of mine who has a contractor on salary. So just I find the property, and then we buy it. We acquire the property. He employs his contractor, and then I sell it. So we have like a harmonious business relationship where obviously I don't charge a commission when I sell my own property.
Right.
And then I'm able, since I'm in the game every day, I find things that are off market.
Yeah.
So that house that we just closed was on the North Hill, and I bought that from a wholesaler that I had a relationship with in Pittsburgh.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that's
to have that
huge.
relationship.
Yeah.
And to always have eyes on properties and a huge asset.
Yeah, every property I purchased was off market, and that was unintentional.
Yeah, that's something we've talked about before, to where the more things you do, the more you get comfortable with, you're kind of ready for opportunities for when they come up. So
we speak on that.
Yeah, so the more prepared you are and the more you're in it, the opportunities are everywhere.
Yeah.
You're just kind of preparing yourself to actually be aware of them.
Yeah, you have to remove what's foreign, because something that's foreign is going to have some type of fear attached to it. Like, I could not do what you guys do. It's foreign to me. How could I, switch out even an outlet or like change out an electrical one? Like, I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fear on my end sometimes on that
too. Even when you know.
Yeah,
even when
every time you cut into a wall, you're like, oh, what the shit am I doing?
Yeah.
Am I right with God?
Okay, everyone always says, make sure you do your homework. Make sure you do your homework before you do X, Y, Z. What are some homework assignments that you would give when buying a piece of real estate for an investment?
Okay, for an investment in terms of like a flip or a buy and hold?
Let's do a flip.
Okay, well, the biggest thing is location, because that's the only thing you can't change about the property that you're buying, right? So you want to maybe stick to an area that you know is desirable, because the whole point of buying a flip is to sell it to somebody who wants to live there.
Right.
So that would be the most basic thing to focus on first. Second would have to if you are not a contractor, get someone in there that understands how much it's going to take this property from the piece of shit it is that you're buying it at to a caliber of whether it's going to be like a basic flip or like a luxurious flip. How much is that going to cost me? How long is it going to take? Especially in COVID times, can I even get the material I need? What's the time frame? Because time is money.
Yeah.
When you're flipping a property, there's holding costs. So you're going to have taxes, insurances, utilities that are going to be fixed costs. You're going to have to, not fixed, but hard costs you can't get around anyway.
Right.
Know that. And these are all estimates, so you estimate very high, because anything else, under promise, over deliver, right?
Aim high, miss small.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to go the other way.
Yeah.
You're estimating low and then way over budget.
Exactly. And layout is a big deal too. So a lot of people forget, for some reason, a dining room when they're flipping a house. It's like they think kitchen, living room, and they forget to create a space that flows and has like a feng shui with an eating area. They'll be like, oh, but it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath with no dining room. Okay, where is everybody eating? You think of things like that, which is why you bring in a real estate professional who is familiar, and we can guide you as well. So in terms of homework, understand location, cost to flip, and then, what's the projected market going to be like? What can I sell this for? What are my transfer taxes? What are my prorated taxes? How much is it going to cost me to pay a deed? What's the municipal requirements when transferring real estate? And it's jurisdiction based. Some, here in Lawrence County, you have to have, in certain areas, not even all of Lawrence County, an Act 121 occupancy inspection that you have to pay $150 for. In other places, you have to have a sewer lateral test. In other places, you have to have a camera test. So know what you're dealing with, where you're at. And
good. I hope you guys wrote that down.
Write it all down.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
But it is a lot. I mean, you're dealing with
you're dealing with a house.
A house
Yeah.
with a
property
lot that goes with it.
And that's a lot of free info. Like, I should be charging for that. Whatever. I'm a good person.
Okay, let's talk. You said a tax sale. What is that? Can you touch on that?
Yeah, I'm not by any means a tax expert. I would refer to a tax lawyer.
Okay.
But in my experiences, I've dealt with people after they bought the tax property. So it was weird. Back in like 2013, 14, we had like influx of like New England investors, people from like Massachusetts coming in and buying property because it's real cheap.
That's funny you say that. the house across the street was purchased by a guy from Vermont.
Yeah.
Who lived in Mahoneytown. Yeah. How do you buy a house without seeing it?
How do you even know about it?
Yeah, crazy.
Well, they had people guiding them who weren't exactly familiar, and so they bought these properties at the tax sale. You know, they go with the allure of, oh my God, you can buy a house for $500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That should be a red flag.
That's a red flag. Nothing is that good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Buy a demolition project for $500.
Yeah, and then you gotta pay $10,000 just to demo it.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you know, maybe it's on Google Earth. The house is still there, but who knows if it had burnt down by the time Google Earth sent the image. And you know, it's just like they didn't have what's called a title search. So when you buy a property, typically you would hire a title abstractor to perform a title search.
So that's not required?
No. Well, not at a distress sale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're buying with a mortgage,
you have to.
That's required.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does the property get to the tax sale? Do you know that?
Good question. Yes. So it's because someone's not paying either a mortgage or the taxes or both.
Okay.
So in an instance, we'll say, for an easy example, someone, the next door neighbor, okay, they own it free and clear of a mortgage, but they're not paying their taxes to, you know, the school, the county, or their property taxes. Then it becomes an order, a government order, where they take your property as collateral from not paying your taxes. And then you get notified. You know, it's not like it happens in the midnight hour.
Yeah.
You get notices, and I think it takes like 3 years of back taxes.
3 years?
I think, yeah. Yeah, you could not pay your taxes for 3 years. And then you could pay it up the day of the sale and keep it.
Okay.
Before the deed transfers. So you don't pay your taxes, and then it goes through a proceeding, and it gets on a chopping block. You get that list, a huge list with the parcel attached to it. And you'll see all these people being creeps, you know, once your address is on.
Yeah, they're looking in the windows, trying to see what they can find out. Yeah. I was that creep. I've done that before.
Oh, you were that creep.
Yeah.
I've been the creep. Absolutely. I'm like, is Shannon on the tax sale? You know, I'm, you know, maybe trespassing a little bit. But you'll see these people just like, they're out of house.
Yeah.
And maybe we should edit that out. So it gets, okay, so it gets to the hearing, essentially, is what the tax sale is. And people, they register, they start bidding.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you see people bid things up, whatever. And they buy the property without a title search. And when you perform a title search, you see everything attached to that property. On a federal level, on a state level. Those are two different things, which are very important. Your taxes are on a municipal level. So when you have, for instance, a federal lien, you know, attached, you know, you're just free and clear of those municipal taxes.
Okay.
So federal liens happen, for instance, if you get a divorce and you don't pay
alimony,
something of that nature, child support, that gets attached to your assets. So say someone, for instance, I've seen people who live out of state, they had a property, it was on Lincoln Avenue, I could see it in my head, it was like a Mediterranean style house, and it was beautiful. And my investor from New England bought it, tax sale, like $1,500. And he goes to resell, he says, Anna, list this for me, you know, I'm a new agent, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. You know, I list it, and we can't sell it. He bought it for $1,500, but there was a federal lien attached to it for $50,000.
Okay.
Oh.
So now who's on the hook for that $50,000? The person who bought it has to make that right.
You inherit debt. You're buying debt.
That's crazy.
So when you go to sell it,
crazy.
Say you sold it for $100, you could use
the government
that.
Gets them.
Yeah. So then it's gone, but also that came out of your pocket.
Yeah.
Instead of clearing $90,000, now you only cleared maybe $35,000.
There's people who take precedence. I say people, but there's entities that take precedence. For instance, if you had a mortgage with, say, I think it's like Countrywide, doesn't exist anymore. Maybe like Sky Bank doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's still attached.
Okay.
Because whenever they merged or they got bought out, their debt.
Somebody bought their debt.
I've had investors buy houses, put money into the houses, and then they can't sell it because there wasn't proper notification. So you go through a process that's called a quitclaim or a quiet title action.
Okay.
Which costs about $5,000, and an attorney has to quiet the title, making it free and clear for you to sell.
Jeez.
Wow.
So there's a lot involved.
Yeah.
With a lot that you
People
could get
get so
involved
excited. They're like, oh my god, sheriff's sale, buying these cheap houses, the paper we pay for it, whatever.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard because I bought that one time and she goes, "There's an ATM over there. It's cash only." I'm like,
What? Yeah.
You won't take this card?
I'm just gonna
The other office takes my card. This office
I'm
won't.
gonna start selling for $5 a piece. How about
You
that?
should.
I'm gonna
You
email
should.
them. How about that?
Start
Yeah.
copying it.
Yeah.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah. Good idea.
Okay, so we went over some things to be aware of when purchasing. Is there anything other than the title search and a couple of the nuggets that you dropped as far as any other red flags to be aware
A
of?
stigmatized property, which would be like, in the state of Pennsylvania, they don't have to tell you if someone passed away in the home because it's not a property
Ooh.
defect. Yeah.
So that's what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you sell a property, you have to release that information?
No, it's
Okay.
not. It's not. This has nothing to do with the property or physical aspects of the property.
Okay.
If someone passed away, or if you sell drugs out of it, or if you make drugs in it, it doesn't matter. So, but as an agent, I tell. I mean, I don't withhold the information. You know what I mean? Actually, I had a property for sale in Neshannock where it was a murder happened in the house. He didn't have to disclose it, but I told everybody.
Oh.
Yeah. There's, I'm pretty sure the house next to us in Mahoney Town, an old lady got murdered a long time ago.
An old lady? Wow.
And that was like the urban legend. Every time somebody came and talked to us, they were like, "Is yours the haunted house?" I'm like, "No."
Sure, it's the haunted house.
At
No,
least
it's not. Yeah,
yet.
sure. Yeah.
So,
Sure, it's not.
Yeah, but you have to disclose that in California. That is a requirement in California, where you have to be like, someone died here. Mm-hmm.
So these sheriff sales, you can't actually go into them, can you?
No, because they're still occupied and owned by somebody else until the day they're not.
So you're literally bidding on a house that you don't know what it looks like on the inside.
No, and you could win the bid and still not get the deed, because even there's like a period of time that they can still reclaim it.
Okay.
So it's a huge risk.
Yeah.
But it
it's
could be a
risky.
huge reward too.
Yeah, it's almost like gambling.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Because the properties usually go for really cheap.
Well, below market value.
Yeah, they can go really
Yeah.
cheap. So this is a goofy question, but so what's your favorite type of investments? Like, do you have a certain? You talked about luxury flip
Yeah.
versus maybe just a regular flip that for somebody to live in?
Easy flips. Ones that
Easy
have,
flips?
Yeah. Ones
Yeah.
that don't have foundation issues. Ones that don't need a roof. I kind of put lipstick on it and sell it, like a quick one.
Yeah.
But right now, in terms of investment, I'm really interested in the Airbnb model of investing.
I heard you guys talking about that.
Yes.
I actually had a guy, this is the guy I was telling you about with the utilities. That's what he has, a flower shop. It's a pretty big flower shop, and he is considering turning that into an Airbnb.
Where?
Slippery Rock Creek?
Okay.
Somewhere in Elwood City. I don't know.
I mean, there's
I'm
a
not sure
market
the
for
actual address. We're going to look at it next week.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm referring to short-term rentals in Florida.
Okay.
So I just went down there because I have my license in Florida as well, and I just helped one of my clients. I ushered her into a short-term rental house. They're like hotcakes there. So much that the government on a municipal level started restricting how many days that you can rent out a property.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Really?
So the government steps in and says, we don't want all these, crazy, partiers, which they're not all partiers, sometimes they're families, but this overturn that keeps happening.
Okay.
So in certain counties or certain neighborhoods, the minimum time that you can rent to somebody might be a month or like 3 months.
I understand.
So it's a
that.
minimum time, not a maximum time.
Correct.
I can see where if you're living in a neighborhood
That's your home.
and that's a party house across the street, like you
Yeah.
didn't sign up for that. All of a sudden,
But you can't pick your neighbors.
there's a ragers.
You can
there
never
every
pick your
day.
neighbors, though.
Exactly.
That's
Ones that are
right.
long term that are terrible, at least these shitty ones leave in 3 days.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But so you have to find a pocket now because it's so saturated down in the Tampa area, which is where I was looking. And we hit the jackpot. We found one that was like, it's called an unincorporated neighborhood.
Okay.
So it has no minimum on short-term rentals. You can rent it by the hour, I guess, if you wanted to.
Oh, wow.
But the return's crazy. So you can rent it. This house that she purchased is going to rent for $600 a night.
A night?
Wow.
You see why it's so attractive?
Yeah.
So that's where my eye is now. I'm trying to make the right investment for that.
Yeah. It's funny and when you're doing business, like you start out small, you have to work so hard for so little, and then like the better you get, the more you build up to an investment like that, where it's like $600 a day.
Listen, it's attainable. Like there's loans where you do like 10% down, and like what's your cash on cash return? Meaning like if you invested X amount of dollars, how long until I make that cash back on my investment? And some people their cash on cash returns like within a year, maybe 10 months.
That would be insane.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll have to take a trip to Florida here soon.
Yeah. Whoa.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit, and you kind of touched on it with going down to Florida. But so what's your vision for the future? You said you have your license in Florida. Do you have it in California?
Yes, in California as well.
Oh, jeez.
I want to retire in California, and I know people are like, California's whacked out right now, which they are.
Yeah.
But I like Newport Beach, California. That's I think it's beautiful there.
I've never been.
I've never been
Like
there either.
Pacific Coast Highway, like the weather you can't beat, the scenery you can't beat. It doesn't have that crazy humidity that Florida does. I like Tampa right now. Like I used to be like a, oh my god, Miami type person, but Tampa has a lot to offer. It's like people our age, young, ambitious. You know, it's beautiful there. I was just there last week and it was like 85 and sunny every day. And
How nice.
Yeah.
How nice that would be.
Yeah, and we do this to ourselves.
Yeah, my doors are frozen shut. This would be.
You gotta create an escape. I mean, you gotta make that part of your life.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
I mean, buying an Airbnb would be a nice excuse to get away.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
sure.
That's what I want. So it can be making me money while I'm away, and then
Yeah.
I work down there, so it's like a second home.
Yeah.
So
Any other places besides Florida and California?
for now, I mean, it was
Just
a lot
those
to
two
get
for-
that. I'm thinking
I'm sure.
Nevada,
Mhm.
just because of Vegas, and I have like a good network there with certain real estate people who are ending their career, like
Okay.
retiring, who trust me, and when they end their careers, they kind of like pass the torch
Mhm.
of business. So there might be an opportunity for me there, not in the near future, but I would just like to start doing. I like to work with investors, so like hedge fund buyers, people, just cash buyers, multi-unit people, doing 1031 exchanges. I don't know if you know what that is, like to avoid capital gains.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we touch on that real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, let's talk about the 1031 and let's just do an example.
Okay.
Let's say I have a building and I paid $100,000 for it.
Okay.
And I'm going to sell it for $200,000.
Okay.
Now, I can take that $200,000 and reinvest it into more real estate under a 1031 exchange.
Well, you have
As long as it's equal or greater value?
correct.
Okay, and
So-
then go ahead.
Yeah, the gain is $100,000, right? So
Mhm.
you can't touch that money. It cannot go to you. It has to go to what's called an intermediary. So when you close on the property, you have $100,000 in gains.
So is the 1031 just on the gain, the 100,000, not the 200?
Well, you have $200,000 now, but the gain is
The
what
gain
you would
is
be
100.
taxed on
Yeah.
if you touch it. So you have that gain, it goes to an intermediary, and you have to pay the intermediary, which is cheaper in the long run than paying Uncle Sam. So it goes to the intermediary. Now the time starts ticking. I think it's I'll have to brush up. I think it's 180 days that you have to put it into something else
Okay.
that's of like or greater value. So of 200,000 or greater value and like-minded. So if you're selling like a trailer park, you can't go and buy a single family home.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you put it into something else, and within 180 days, and you kick that can down the road a little bit longer.
Okay.
And then once you pass away, your heirs do not have to pay the capital gains tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can keep parlaying that investment into a bigger.
Yeah, and
So when do you see the returns from that?
people do it with passive income. So like
Okay,
multi-units.
like an Airbnb
Yes.
or a duplex or a rental property, as long as you can do it like
Like
properties.
To give an example, my investors they have a portfolio in New York, which is like several multi-units. And when I say a multi-unit, that's a property that has 2 or more units connected. That's what I'm referring to in this instance.
Okay.
So they bought this in the 90s, so it's obviously had a huge appreciation over time. And I don't know the worth of that, but they're taking, like, just for example, like 1.5 out of that portfolio in gains, okay? Goes to the intermediary. But they're going to buy something in Florida that's worth $6 million.
Okay.
To, you know, just the way their strategy goes, whether they're mortgaging the rest or doing seller financing when they're acquiring the next portfolio. You know, there's no capital gains on liquidating that 1.5.
Right. They don't have to pay taxes on that.
Yes.
They can use it for the down payment of this next
This
property.
$6 million, and then increase their passive income.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good example.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I wanted to touch on. I don't even know if I have it in here.
It's a very interesting thing.
Yeah, because I had no clue until about 6 months ago that was even a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
I hope they don't get rid of it. Who knows?
Yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen? So how do you start that? Do you pay a lawyer to do it, or
the intermediary?
The intermediary.
Yeah, and I can send you a website. It's with the one that I have. A lawyer can do it. Some don't like it because of the liability exposure and the conflict of interest and things like that. So the website I got, I think it's like from First American Title.
Okay.
And which is a title company, and an attorney sent it to me, so I trust him, and he said use First American. I don't know their fees involved yet.
Okay.
I didn't look, but
okay.
Yeah, the thing is you can't touch the money. If it comes to Anna DeFrank, I can't. I get taxed. Anna gets taxed.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to use it for construction purposes too?
That might be out of my lane. I don't think that's a real estate thing. You know, it's capital gains on the
just
real
the real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna close up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Do you have a locked-in routine? Do you do the same things every day?
I try to.
Wake up every day at the same time?
Yeah.
What time do you wake up?
Makes it easier. Depending, I'd say like normally 7 is my average. Say
Okay.
I woke up at 5 because my melatonin ran out.
Okay.
But normally it's 7. You know, if I sleep past that, I get anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like a gym of some sort. Breakfast.
In the morning? Like,
yep. Yeah.
Oh, let's hear the routine.
Okay.
When
I'm normal, when I'm normal, meaning like I'm here, wake up, immediately, sometimes I'll fast, I'll go to the gym, cardio, lifting, whatever, come back, eat, then start my day, like shower, get ready. Am I going to Pittsburgh this day? Where am I showing houses? Like, it starts, really, your day starts the night before with scheduling.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, with everything, scheduling everything out. And then I'll close out the day with another gym. I'll go to like CrossFit or something, and then relax. I like to eat like chocolate for a second.
Do you have a shut-off
time?
time?
And then YouTube. I try to be in bed by 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as far as like, so I like to take just a little bit of time each night.
Decompress.
Yeah, with my wife, wife and the dog, and we just sit and watch a show. Like I make sure we watch one show.
Yeah.
Or an episode of something, just so like that. I don't go to bed and my head's a mess. I had a busy day and a busy week coming up, and I have all this stuff to do. Like put the problems away for a half an hour and just like veg out.
You have to. That's healthy. And sometimes I think people who are ambitious feel guilty for doing that.
I do feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Any second I'm not doing something productive.
Yep.
I feel like, oh man, because there is always something to do. So any half an hour that I'm not doing something. Now I will say, if I'm going to the gym, I don't feel bad.
Okay.
But if I just caught myself scrolling on Facebook for 10 minutes, I'm like, what are you doing? You have so much to do.
Like, lift your head up. Like, life is happening. We're not going to be this young forever. Like, enjoy it. Experience something. And I get lost in that. I like social media, but it's part of my business, so I have to stop answering people. Because people will hit you with questions like all day long, and it's just, you're so right. It's important. It's part of like the recovery process of the day and ushering you into some sleep if you can get it.
Okay, let's see. Do you have a favorite author? Do you like to read? Do you like to listen to audiobooks? Do you not read at all?
I don't really, and it's bad. I don't have the attention span for reading.
Okay.
I really don't.
So no audiobooks either?
Audiobooks, yes. I just listened to Will Smith's book.
Okay.
Excellent. It was about his life, and it was just really, it resonated with me. It had a lot of good messages about, he starts the book off about building a wall. His dad made him build a wall, which was laying brick by brick, and got up every day to the same monotonous thing, and it prepared him for, it disciplined him with getting into obviously the business and the stellar career he's had. So I like that one. I mean, the last couple audiobooks I bought one, it was The Fifth Vital, Mike Malak, and then Charlemagne had 2 that I listened to. But I reference the 48 Laws of Power a lot.
Okay.
That's kind of corny and like cliche. But I referenced that. I read The Prince, which inspired that book. And then, what else? Art of War is boring. I read it. Boring.
Super boring.
Like, what the
Jeez,
hell?
trying to
Like,
get
this is supposed
into
to change my life. This is boring.
It's probably sitting over there,
Yeah.
cracked. It's tough to read.
Yeah, it's a hard read. And then I have it's not Tony Robbins. It's called Tools of the Titans.
Oh,
I heard that was a stellar.
Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
Great. Listen,
Have it.
it's 24 hours.
Yeah.
The audiobook. But they chop it up. Every little interview is only like 5 to 10 minutes long. So you can listen to it on the way somewhere and get something out of it in that 10 minutes. Like, they interview all these successful people. So nice little snippets from each person, and they leave you with like a quote or something they do. I get a lot of that book inspired, like the questions here. Just trying to figure out, like, do you have a routine? Let's talk to like successful people and see like what do we have in common with them, or what should we maybe try to, style our life.
That stuff is important. Mindset is everything. So if something like an audiobook can alter it for the better, it's going to have a ripple effect through your whole day, your week. Little things add up to big things, obviously. So
yeah, for sure. Okay, we already touched on hobbies. We're going to end it here.
Okay.
So we're going to go with a goofy one that this is why we ask it, is Tools of the Titans. So that was a good segue.
Okay.
What is your spirit animal?
Oh, that's a great one. I think I see those things on TikTok a lot, which is hard for me to admit after we just talked about being productive.
Yeah, TikTok is a time suck, right?
It is. It's time travel.
Yeah, 10 seconds at a time, you're an hour into the future.
It's so true. I don't know. I dabble. Like, I want to say I like. Obviously, the tiger is very aggressive. Like, gets what they want, whatever. But also the cobra. I say I'm a cobra a lot.
You strike.
I'm
you get
patient.
A deal, strike it.
I wait.
Okay.
I wait until the time is right to strike, because timing is very important.
Sure.
And sometimes, things will happen like, aren't you gonna flip out? Aren't you gonna do this? I said, wait, let me sit and be my cobra for a second, and then I'll figure out when to actually, tackle it head on. But
good. That's a good answer. I like that.
That is
I like
a
the
good
cobra.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's gonna be it. Today, not the last day. Tomorrow is gonna be the last day to get the giveaway. But by the time you're seeing this, it'll be tomorrow. So go buy a t-shirt, enters you into the giveaway. We're giving away the DeWalt tool set, also a service credit from me or Cody, or cash. Check that out, thebluecollarbros.com, and like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys later.